When I look back and I really look at a lot of the people that have come to us in our private practice, and they might be dealing with fertility-based issues or metabolism, weight gain issues, or even poor sleep or dysregulated menstrual cycles, we can look and really point to thyroid, and specifically what's called the T3 level, as being too low. So how the thyroid works is it actually is told by the brain, the hypothalamus and pituitary gland, how much thyroid hormone to make. And so what happens is it gets told based on need how much hormone your body needs to use. The problem is that your body needs a lot of cofactors and nutrients in order to make that thyroid hormone. So if you're low on selenium, or you're low on zinc, or you're low on your B vitamins, or you're low on iodine, you're not actually going to be able to make the thyroid hormone that you need. And also, let's say that you're overstressed right now. Let's say that you have lower levels of iron. Let's say that you're not getting enough sleep. All of these things can hinder that thyroid absorption as well. So our job is to absolutely look at the labs, but also listen to the person's story and how it's affecting their life on a daily basis. One other overlooked avenue as to how to really rebalance the hormones and rebalance the thyroid and to, in effect, work on all those symptoms you're dealing with is to actually look at how stress in the adrenals begin to shut down the thyroid. So when you begin to look too at how the brain sends signals to the adrenal glands as to produce more norepinephrine and to produce more cortisol, we can see that the more stress hormones you produce on a daily basis, when it's chronic levels of stress, the lower thyroid you'll produce. And that is because your body goes into more of a hibernation mode, more of a survival mode where you need less calories on a daily basis. And that might sound like a good thing at a high level, but the truth is the less calories that you need, the less good food that you can eat, because you start to gain weight over time. Again, these things begin to accumulate over time. So as we're looking at healing the thyroid, we have to understand is that the body does not work in single systems or single glands. We have to look at how is stress in the adrenals affecting the thyroid? How are the lifestyle factors that you're leading right now also leading to potentially imbalanced hormone levels as well? So if we're looking at rebalancing the thyroid and we're looking at rebalancing all of the systems of the body, we want to take into account what I teach, which is the Destress Protocol. So I want you to understand that it's never one thing. There's no magic bullet that's going to get you well, but you can get well. You can heal. And we need to look at the diet. We need to look at exercise, stress reduction, toxin removal, rest and sleep-based protocols, emotional balance, scientifically proven supplement protocols, as well as a success mindset. When you begin to combine all of those together, you start to see that you don't have to be perfect with any one of those. The goal is to be good. The goal is to get better at each of these as you are leading your healthy life and really moving on your path to healing. You can just begin to understand your thyroid in general, as well as the hormones. How do they work within your body? And you'll start to see that your body needs specific nutrients. Give your body those nutrients in order for it to function properly. So the other side you want to look at that is toxicities. You want to look at, are you filling up your rain barrel with pesticides, with heavy metals, or environmental-based pollutants that are actually affecting your thyroid, that are beginning to lower your hormone levels? And then without removing those, how will you be able to heal that thyroid? It's going to be very challenging. So that's why in my practice, and what I want to share with you right now, the best way that we know how to help people heal is by replacing those deficiencies and removing those toxicities so the body can then have everything that it needs in order to heal itself. One of the best ways that you're able to look inside of your body is through functional medicine lab testing. And what we do at Equi.Life is we actually look at all of the hormones in your body and how they interact with each other. So the first thing we look at are your estrogen levels, because if you have higher levels of estrogen in both men and women, it can also mimic a lot of those low thyroid-based symptoms. You can start to deal with a little bit more bloating, a little bit more lower mood, a little bit more water weight retention, or even weight gain. So we look at that, and we also look at its relationship to progesterone. Because even if you have normal levels of estrogen, but you have lower levels of progesterone, you're going to suffer from the same symptoms of that estrogen dominance. Again, you're going to feel lower mood, poor sleep, bloating. You're going to start to feel a little bit more puffy, especially if you are going through your menstrual cycle and it's 4, 5, 6 days before. You're going to feel those symptoms really become exacerbated. So the next item we're looking at is testosterone. And testosterone is needed by both men and women, different levels, but by testosterone being too low, you're not going to have the drive that you once did. You're not going to have the same ambition, and so testosterone is really important as well. After that, we're looking at DHEA. DHEA is known known as the anti-aging hormone. But what a lot of people don't know is that DHEA helps balance the stress hormone cortisol. And if you don't have enough DHEA, it's really challenging for your body to stay balanced under all of that stress. We're looking at cortisol from the adrenal glands. We look at that throughout the day. Normally, the body produces more cortisol in the morning, then slightly begins to fall throughout the rest of the day. And at night, it's so low that your body's then able to produce a hormone called melatonin. Melatonin allows you to fall into a nice, deep, restorative sleep. But if cortisol is a little too high in the evening, like we see on many of our lab tests, it's really difficult for people to fall asleep, and they deal with a lot of insomnia-based issues. On that same lab, then we look at thyroid. We're looking at your TSH, which is your thyroid stimulating hormone. We're looking at free T4, and we're looking at free T3. These are the thyroid-based hormones that allow you to have a boosted metabolism, that remove a lot of the symptoms that we spoke about. So that is why it's so crucial to look at all of your hormones, not just individually, but at the total picture and how they affect one another.